Welcome to Lesson 5. The Document Object Model, or DOM, specifies how browsers should create a model of an HTML page, and how JavaScript can access and update that page. When a browser loads a web page, it creates a model of that page. This model is the DOM, and it is stored in memory. This model consists of 4 nodes: the document node, elements nodes, attribute nodes, and text nodes. Each node is an object with methods and properties. Scripts access and update this DOM tree, not the underlying HTML. These changes are then shown in the browser. There are 2 steps involved in updating the DOM. First, locate the node with the element you want to work with. Second, then you use that element's text content, child elements, and attributes. You can access elements individually, or you can access them collectively. This is a collection of nodes, otherwise known as a node list. You can select these nodes by their ID, class, attributes, by tag name, or using CSS selector syntax. In the past, older browsers had inconsistent implementations of the DOM, which led to developers trying to solve these cross-browser problems. jQuery, a popular JavaScript library, was born out of this problem. With that, let's see the different ways to interact with the DOM. Okay, so we're going to work with the DOM, the Document Object Model. And so for your example at the end of the book, I broke it up into smaller pieces so that we can see how they work. So we're going to add items to the start and end of a list. So first we need to get our list. So we declare a variable for our list equals document.getElements by tag name and UL. And here we're going to get the first item in this list that comes back. That's why we have the array, get the 0-based array. And so then we're going to add a new item to the end of the list. So we're going to create a new item last. So document create element. We're going to create a list item. And so our text. So the create text node cream. So that's going to be the text there. So we're going to append child. So that means we're going to add it to the end of the list. And so we're going to add list, append child, new list item. So this is so what happened here? So we append this text node to this line item, the list item, then the list is going to append it, append a child to it, which is this new list item last. So let me see if I can write that here. So what did we do? So cream was added to the li tag so that what that does look like? So that looks like this, li cream. So this gets added to this one, which makes it look like this at this step. And at this step, we have this list up here. Get the source code for that. Oops. This list right here. So we can grab this list. And it's going to add it afterwards. So let's go back to JavaScript. Comment this out. So the next part is add a new item to the start of the list. So it does the same thing. We create this element here, list item. We're going to give it a text node, kale, and we're going to append it. So this part and this part's still the same because we're appending the text to the list item. But here, we're going to do list, insert before. And we're going to insert it. Where are we going to insert it? We're going to insert this new item first at the first child. So, with NetBeans, we can see what other things we can pick. Now we can do first item, there's some attribute fourth item. But it looks like the default built-in is first item. So we'll leave it at that. And so when I click this button, add list items, well, this one here, it should add cream at the bottom and kale at the top. Oh, what happened here? Oh, my mistake. Meant first child. Let's try that again. There we go. Kale added to the top, cream added to the bottom. Now that this list has changed, if I press this again, it'll go run through this all again and add kale again at the top and cream at the bottom. So here we go. So now I have two instances. We got more kale and more cream. So that was adding list items. Now we can change the class. So for our list items, oh, we had a couple of query selector list item. So we're gonna grab the list items and put it in here so that we get a node list. So we're gonna loop through them using a for loop, and we're gonna change each item's class name to use the cool class. Then that's a CSS class. So if I change it now, these all became blue. Now if I add another one, it's not using that. They have no classes, they had no class name set up here. So it's using the default empty class. So if I add more list items, they'll all use the other class, and not this new CSS cool class. But as soon as I hit this, they all use that class. Let's reload the page. Okay. So that's how this one worked. Adding a class to a list of items. Okay. So update list heading. Okay. Space here. So we're gonna get the selector list li. We're gonna create heading, query selector h2, the heading text. We're gonna give it add first child, node value, and we're gonna do total items equal list items dot length. So the new heading is gonna have this heading text. And we're gonna add a span, total items in our list, and the headings in an HTML will be this new heading. So if we click this button, update list heading, it grabbed this and added it back because there's 4 list items. So if we add items to the list and update the heading again, we see this number changed to 8. Maybe it's not so visible. There, number 8. Okay. Now, let's do some change div class. Okay. And this one, we're gonna grab the query selector. This time we're gonna get the div. So if we look at our HTML, we see there's one div tag on this page, which encompasses everything. So let's see what that's gonna do. So we're gonna add a class of, no, we're not gonna add a class of cool. So this one, we're gonna loop through the div tags. Right now there's only one, but we're gonna give the class, the CSS class called bigger. So we add a couple items, change kale, update the header, and now we're gonna change the div class. So the fonts should change. So now they all became italic fonts. And if I add anything else to this list, it will also have the same font because that's encompassed in the div tag. So reload this page. Okay. So that's changing the div class. Okay, now we can remove classes from the page. So if I add a list items, we change the div class to this one, change this one to blue, cool. Let's say I don't like this font. So it's going to loop. We're going to create a. I should get rid of this here. So we're going to do a for loop. Go. For loop through the items again. This time we're going to do an if statement to check. So if this one has the attribute class, we're going to remove that attribute class. So once I hit remove, it removed that class bigger. See, the italic fonts disappear. And so this is how we manipulate the DOM. Let's see. Well, I didn't create a new button, but I can comment this out. Another thing we can do. Let's look at the HTML. Let's see if we have any ID tags here. ID page. Okay, we're gonna use that one. Okay, var element equal document dot get element by ID page. So now we can do inner HTML equals hello there. Now let's see where our buttons are. Our buttons are actually within the page. So if I click remove class now, the inner HTML, this whole thing will change to hello there, and the buttons will disappear. Hello there. Whoops, just got rid of everything. Reload the page, back, and then here you can see everything else you can change. All these properties and values for accessing elements through the DOM. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and that's how we manipulate elements through the DOM.